The stars stretched endlessly across the dark sky, a canvas of light that had always inspired humans to dream, explore, and sometimes fear what lay beyond. On the edge of human space, a small research colony orbited a quiet green planet. Its people were scientists, engineers, and explorers living far from the bustling cities of Earth. They thought they were alone in this part of the galaxy, and for a time, they were. Then the sky changed. A fleet of alien ships appeared, moving with confidence and precision. Their hulls glinted in the starlight, shaped in ways humans had never seen before. They were enormous, built for war, and they carried the arrogance of a species that had conquered many worlds. The humans on the colony watched through their telescopes as the alien ships approached. Their first instinct was fear, but the colony's leader, Commander Elena Shaw, did not panic. She had always taught her people to think, not to react. Elena's eyes narrowed as she studied the formation. "They're not here to trade," she said quietly to her team. "They're here to take, and we are not an easy target." Inside the largest of the alien ships, a scout officer named Krell moved quickly. Krell had grown uneasy as the fleet neared. The human colony. He had heard stories of humans, a species supposedly weak and primitive. But something about this sector, something about these people, made him pause. His sensors had detected energy signatures unlike anything he had ever seen. There was intelligence here, and something else. Determination. Krell's commander, a massive alien with silver skin and eyes like burning coals, barked orders. "Prepare for attack. These humans will be another easy conquest. They will submit like the others." But Krell hesitated. He knew the stories didn't match the reports he had just received. He could not ignore the strange readings, the way these humans seemed ready for anything. His instincts screamed that if the fleet attacked without caution, the consequences could be worse than expected, and so Krell did something that shocked even himself. He activated a small, unarmed vessel and slipped away from the main fleet. His destination was the human colony, alone, against orders. When he arrived, the humans were already scanning the skies. One of the junior scientists, a young man named Tariq, pointed to the incoming vessel. "Commander, something's approaching fast, not like the fleet." Elena focused her binoculars. The small ship moved with precision, not like the larger alien ships that seemed to dominate space through sheer size. There was intent behind its path, and that intention felt different. The vessel landed with a soft hum. From it, Krell emerged, not as a soldier, but as a messenger. His armor was sleek but not threatening. He raised his hands in a gesture of peace. "I come to warn you," Krell said, his voice translated into human language by a small device he carried. "Do not fight them. Do not think to flee. If you provoke the humans, they will never let you escape." The humans stared at him, a mix of awe, confusion, and disbelief. Elena stepped forward. "Why should we believe you? Why are you helping us?" Krell's gaze was steady. "Because I have seen them. I have studied them. You may think yourselves small and weak, but your species is relentless. You never surrender. You never give up. And if my fleet attacks you, you will not let anyone leave alive." There was silence. Tariq whispered, "They say humans are aggressive, but this..." He shook his head. "This is different." Elena's mind raced. The warning was strange, but she trusted her instincts. Krell's eyes were honest, and the risk of ignoring this message was too great. "We will prepare," she said, "but we need proof. Show us you mean no harm." Krell nodded. He gestured to the small ship. "I have data. I can show you what they are capable of. What your people are capable of. You must decide how to survive, and quickly." Inside the ship, Krell projected images of human history, battles, and achievements. But in a way, humans rarely thought about themselves. Wars on Earth long before humans reached the stars showed a species that never surrendered even when outnumbered or outgunned. Humans had defended their worlds against impossible odds, adapted to every environment, and found ways to win even when defeat seemed certain. "Your instincts are strong," Krell said, "but your enemies do not understand you. They will think they can flee. They will think they can intimidate, but humans never let anyone leave unchallenged." Elena absorbed every word. Her heart pounded, not with fear, but with a mixture of pride and determination. "We are not just defending ourselves," she said. "We are defending the galaxy's respect for life, for freedom. And if they come, we will not let them intimidate us." Meanwhile, Krell's warning spread quietly through the alien fleet. Some officers laughed at the idea, some mocked him, but others felt unease. Something about humans made them different, something unpredictable. And Krell had seen what happened when humans were pushed to the edge. They did not falter. They did not retreat, and they did not forgive easily. The next days were tense. Humans fortified the colony without revealing panic. They built defensive systems, camouflage networks, and emergency shelters. Engineers worked day and night, creating devices that used human ingenuity in ways the aliens would never expect. They adapted old technology into traps, enhanced communication systems, and trained civilians in self-defense. In orbit above the colony, Krell watched silently. He had never seen humans like this. Every action, every thought was calculated. But it was not cold calculation. It was intelligence combined with an unpredictable spark of courage and creativity. On the alien fleet, orders came to attack. The commanders assumed it would be simple. "Humans are small, insignificant," one said. "They cannot resist the might of our forces." But Krell had already decided. He could not follow that order. "I have seen their power," he whispered, to himself. "And if they are forced to fight, my species will regret it." Back on the colony, Elena gathered her council. "We have a warning," she said. "We do not yet know how serious it is, but we have to act. We must prepare to defend ourselves and to outsmart them. They may have more ships, more weapons, more strength, but we have something no one can measure: our determination, our adaptability, and our courage." The humans worked tirelessly. Children were taught drills. Scientists converted research. Labs into defense hubs. Farmers learned to manage supply chains for emergencies. Everyone contributed. And with each passing day, the humans became more ready, not just to survive, but to demonstrate that no species could underestimate them. Krell, watching from a safe distance, realized he had made a choice he could not undo. If the alien fleet attacked, he could not intervene openly, but he could warn, he could guide, he could prepare humans, and he would. Because he knew the truth. Humans never let anyone flee, and soon the stars would bear witness to it. As night fell on the colony, Elena stood on a balcony overlooking the green fields. The stars seemed brighter than ever. She did not feel fear. She felt challenge, and she felt the quiet, unshakable certainty that humans would rise to meet it. Somewhere in the darkness of space, Krell whispered a warning to his own kind, knowing it might be the last time his species would be free of humans. Relentless pursuit. "Do not attack the humans," he said. "They will never let you flee." The human colony had barely finished preparing its defenses when the first alien ships arrived. The horizon shimmered with the light of approaching warships, massive and cold. They moved with precision, the kind only an ancient, experienced fleet could manage. Yet, for all their size and strength, there was a tension that even the humans could feel. The aliens expected an easy victory, but the humans were ready to prove them wrong. Commander Elena Shaw stood at the control center, her fingers resting. lightly on the console. "Remember, we do not fight blindly," she said to her team. "We use our brains. We use every advantage. They think they are the strongest, but they have never faced humans like us." Tariq, the young scientist, nodded nervously. "They're huge, and there are so many. How can we possibly stop them?" Elena smiled, a calm that masked the storm inside her. "Not by stopping them, by making them regret underestimating us." In orbit above the planet, Krell observed quietly. The alien fleet moved in formation, confident, almost arrogant. Yet, from his hidden vantage point, he could see the humans below preparing in ways the larger fleet would never expect. Makeshift shields, camouflage turrets, decoys, all designed to confuse and frustrate the attackers. The first strike came without warning. Alien ships unleashed energy beams toward the colony's outer defenses. Explosions lit the sky, and alarms rang throughout the settlement. Civilians ran for shelters while engineers activated emergency protocols. Yet despite the chaos, human defenders moved with purpose. Elena's voice came over the intercom. "Positions! Remember, every tool, every device, every idea matters. Do not panic. Focus." The alien energy beams hit barriers designed to absorb impact, and the humans countered with clever traps. One massive alien vessel approached a communication hub, only to find the ground beneath it suddenly opening, revealing hidden electromagnetic nets. The ship shuddered as its systems were disrupted, forcing it to retreat. Tariq couldn't believe his eyes. They're working. The humans actually built these in secret?" "Yes," Elena said, her eyes fixed on the battlefield. "Humans always find a way, even when others think we cannot." The battle escalated. The aliens launched drones to infiltrate the colony, expecting little resistance. But humans had anticipated such moves. Drones were met with automated defense units that adapted to alien movements in real time. Engineers had programmed the units to learn quickly, turning each attack into a lesson for the next. Even small teams of humans on the ground performed extraordinary feats. Using simple vehicles and clever tools, they sabotaged alien ships, guided drones into traps, and protected civilians with precision. One team of young recruits set up decoy buildings that emitted false energy signals, drawing alien fire away from real targets. From orbit, Krell watched silently, his confidence in the alien fleet crumbling. These humans were nothing like the species his commanders had described. They were unpredictable, relentless, and fearless. Every attack that failed only seemed to fuel their resolve. "Commander Shaw," one officer reported, "the aliens are regrouping. They expected an easy strike, but we are forcing them to adjust. This is impressive." Elena nodded. "Good. Let them see that humans do not surrender easily. Every move they make, we will counter. Every advantage they think they have, we will turn into a weakness." The aliens tried a more direct approach. A massive warship descended toward the colony's main energy facility, intending to cripple it and force a surrender. But the humans had prepared for this. Hidden ion disruptors disabled the alien ship's engines just as it reached the facility. The ship plummeted into a valley nearby, unable to continue its assault. Tariq whistled in amazement. "I can't believe it. We stopped a ship that big. With what? A few homemade devices?" "Yes," Elena said calmly. "And that is exactly why they will never forget humans. Strength is not just power. It is intelligence, creativity, and the will to survive. They cannot flee from that. And once we corner them, they will know what it means to face humans at full strength." Meanwhile, Krell began to warn isolated alien commanders via encrypted messages. "Do not underestimate the humans. They are not what you think. If you press the attack, your forces will suffer. They will never let anyone leave once provoked." Many of the alien officers laughed at him, confident in their technology and numbers. Others, however, hesitated. They had never encountered a species that fought with such cleverness and determination, and Krell's warnings gnawed at them. Back on the planet, humans continued to strike with precision. Small, fast teams attacked alien supply lines, cutting off reinforcements and using the terrain to their advantage. Explosions rocked the outskirts of the colony, but the humans adapted instantly, redirecting forces and using improvised barriers to protect civilians. A young pilot, Lieutenant Mara Lee, led a small squadron of scout ships against alien fighters. Using hit-and-run tactics and clever maneuvers, they disrupted alien formations, forcing even the largest ships to slow down and regroup. Mara's squadron was small, but their skill and daring made them deadly. Elena watched the battle unfold from the control center. Every human here is extraordinary, she thought. They do not fight for glory or fear or even for victory alone. They fight because it is the right thing to do, and that is why we cannot be beaten so easily. Hours passed, and the alien fleet began to falter. Ships were damaged, drones destroyed, and supply lines cut. The first strike had failed. The aliens had underestimated the humans, and the humans had proven that ingenuity, courage, and determination were far more powerful than raw firepower alone. Krell sent one final warning to his commanders. Stop this attack. Retreat while you can. Humans are not just fighters. They are predators of a kind you cannot imagine. Once they corner you, there is no escape. Some alien leaders finally listened. Others, still arrogant, pressed on. And that would be their mistake. By nightfall, the sky above the colony was littered with the wreckage of alien drones and ships. Fires burned in some areas, but humans worked tirelessly to contain the damage. Civilians aided in the recovery, moving supplies and assisting the wounded. Tariq turned to Elena. Commander, we actually did it. We stopped them. Elena shook her head, a serious expression on her face. No, Tariq. This is only the beginning. They will return. And next time, they will bring more ships, more weapons. But we have learned something important today. We have learned that humans are not easily intimidated. We have learned that intelligence and courage can overcome even the greatest odds, and we will be ready for them next time. Krell, observing from his hidden vessel, could only nod in quiet respect. The humans were not just survivors. They were a force unlike any other. They were relentless, clever, and fearless. And if the alien fleet did not heed his warning, they would soon face the full fury of human determination. That night, the stars seemed brighter than ever over the human colony. Fires from the battle reflected on the green fields and the hum of energy. Shields filled the air. Humans moved with calm purpose, repairing, rebuilding, and preparing for what would come next. And far above, in the depths of space, alien commanders whispered among themselves. They cannot be underestimated, one said. We were wrong. Humans are different. Elena gazed at the sky, her eyes steady. Let them come, she murmured. Let them see what it means to face humans who will never surrender. The first clash was over, but the war was just beginning. And one thing was certain. Humans never let anyone flee, and once the galaxy had seen what they were capable of, no one would ever underestimate them again. The alien fleet had retreated for now, but the humans did not rest. Commander Elena Shaw knew that their brief victory was only the beginning. The aliens would return, larger and stronger. But the humans had learned an important truth. They could face impossible odds and still prevail. Elena gathered her council in the command center. Holographic maps of the surrounding star systems floated in the air. Each dot represented an alien base, a patrol route, or a potential threat. We cannot wait for them to come again, she said. We will take the fight to them, but carefully. We strike where they least expect us. Tariq leaned over the maps, pointing to an alien supply line passing near an asteroid belt. If we disable their supplies here, it will slow them down, and we can use the terrain to our advantage. Elena nodded. Exactly. Mara, prepare your squadron for a reconnaissance mission. We need intelligence on their movements and weak points. Engineers, get ready to convert captured technology. Every advantage counts. From his hidden position in space, Krell observed the humans' preparations with growing respect. He had seen other species, powerful fleets, and ancient civilizations. But humans were different. They were inventive, unpredictable, and fearless. He could see why the commanders of the alien fleet had ignored his warning at first. They had never faced anything like this. The first human strike was planned with precision. A small team of engineers, scientists, and pilots worked together to disrupt the alien supply lines. They converted old transport ships into stealth craft, outfitted with energy disruptors and EMP devices designed to disable alien systems temporarily. Mara Lee led her squadron through the asteroid belt. Their small ships weaved between rocks and debris, invisible to the alien sensors. From her cockpit, she could see the massive supply ships moving slowly, unaware of the danger ahead. Remember, she said over the comm, we do not fight unless necessary. Our goal is disruption, not destruction. The first target was a convoy of alien freighters carrying weapons and fuel. The humans struck with precision. EMP pulses disabled engines and communication systems, forcing the convoy to halt. Engineers on nearby stealth ships quickly moved in, sabotaging the ship's power cores and leaving them stranded. On the ground, human scientists hacked alien drones that had been left behind in the previous battle. Within hours, they had turned the drones into surveillance tools, monitoring alien movements in real time. We are learning from them as they learn from us, Tariq said, excitement in his voice. Every device they use becomes our advantage. The alien fleet, unaware of the human operations, began to notice disruptions in their supply lines. Panic spread among the commanders. How are they doing this? One demanded. These humans should not be capable of such coordinated attacks, Krell transmitted a warning again. Stop underestimating them. They will adapt faster than you can imagine. Retreat while you can. Some alien leaders hesitated, recalling Krell's earlier warnings. Others, blinded by pride, continued their operations. And that would be their mistake. Back at the human colony, Elena's team prepared for the next phase. They had captured parts of alien technology from the first battle, and engineers were working day and night to integrate it into human systems. Shields were enhanced, weapons improved, and communication networks fortified. Civilians trained in. Emergency drills were now ready to aid in defense or evacuation if necessary. The humans also began psychological operations. They sent false messages, broadcasting fake troop movements and decoy attacks. Alien sensors detected these activities and reported back to the fleet, causing confusion and hesitation. The humans were turning the aliens' assumptions against them. Meanwhile, Krell watched the humans' ingenuity in action. He had never imagined a species could learn so quickly, adapt so effectively, and fight with such intelligence. He realized the truth behind the warning he had given. Humans never let anyone escape once cornered. Their courage, combined with creativity, made them a force unlike any other. The next human operation was more ambitious. A group of pilots, engineers, and scientists planned to attack a lightly defended alien outpost in a nearby system. The outpost controlled a critical communication hub, and its destruction would severely hinder the alien fleet's coordination. Mara Lee's squadron approached the outpost under the cover of an asteroid field. Using stealth technology and improvised cloaking devices, they bypassed the perimeter defenses. Engineers had prepared specialized charges to disable the outpost systems without causing unnecessary destruction to the structure itself. The operation went smoothly. The outpost's communication arrays were disabled, and the humans escaped without detection. The alien fleet scrambled to understand what had happened, but by the time they responded, the humans were gone. Back at the colony, celebrations were brief. "We did well," Elena said, addressing her team. "But every victory is temporary. The aliens will regroup. They will bring more ships, more weapons, more firepower, and we must be ready." Tariq smiled despite the tension. "I never thought we could do this. We actually outsmarted them." Elena shook her head. "We didn't just outsmart them. We showed them something they will never forget. Humans do not flee. Humans adapt, endure, and fight back. They cannot intimidate us, and they cannot escape us once we choose to engage." Krell, hidden in orbit, sent another encrypted message to the alien fleet. His warnings were now desperate, urgent. "Do not underestimate humans. They are not merely fighters. They are strategists, engineers, and thinkers combined. If you continue to attack, your losses will be catastrophic. Retreat or face consequences you cannot survive." Some alien commanders began to doubt themselves. Reports of disrupted supply lines, disabled outposts, and lost ships painted a picture they could not ignore. Yet others, still proud and overconfident, dismissed Krell's warnings as exaggeration. As days passed, humans continued their counterattacks. Small teams disrupted alien patrols, engineers created defensive traps on planets and in space, and pilots executed daring raids on enemy supply lines. Each operation reinforced the same lesson. Humans never give up, never surrender, and never allow their enemies to escape once they engage. In one daring operation, a squad of humans led by Mara Lee intercepted an alien convoy attempting to escape through a narrow asteroid corridor. Using clever maneuvering and energy nets, they trapped the convoy and disabled its engines. The aliens inside panicked, unable to comprehend how a small squad could control such a large force. "Do you see now?" Mara said over comm. "Humans do not flee, and we do not let others flee either." The alien fleet began to feel the weight of these encounters. Even the bravest commanders realized the humans were not merely reacting. They were thinking ahead, adapting, and controlling the battlefield in ways no one expected. Krell sighed. He had warned them, but few listened. He could only hope the humans' restraint so far would prevent unnecessary loss of life. He had seen enough to know one truth with certainty. Humans were unlike any species in the galaxy. They were clever, fearless, and relentless. And once they decided to engage, no enemy could escape their pursuit. Elena, watching her team from the command center, felt a quiet pride. Her people had faced the first real threat from an alien fleet and emerged stronger. They had proven that intelligence, creativity, and courage were more powerful than raw firepower, and she knew deep in her heart that this was only the beginning. The aliens would return, and the humans would be ready. Because humans never surrendered. Humans never fled. And humans never let anyone leave once cornered. The stars above the colony seemed to shine brighter, reflecting the determination of the people below. Across the galaxy, unseen eyes watched humans in awe and fear. The legend of their relentlessness was growing, spreading quietly but powerfully. The first strikes were over, but the war had only just begun. And the galaxy would soon learn what Krell had known all along. Humans were not merely fighters. Humans were the species no one could escape, no one could outsmart, and no one could ever forget. The alien fleet had regrouped. The arrogance of their commanders remained, but doubt now crept into the minds of many. Reports of lost ships, disrupted supply lines, and disabled outposts painted a picture of humans unlike anything they had encountered before. Still, the aliens believed that sheer numbers and overwhelming firepower would eventually crush the humans. Commander Elena Shaw knew they were coming. "This is it," she told her team. "They will throw everything they have at us. But we are ready. Every device, every strategy, every human here is prepared. Remember, we do not just fight, we outthink them. We endure, and we never let them leave without paying for what they tried to do. Tariq checked the defensive grid one last time. Energy shields glowed faintly, turrets aligned perfectly, and decoy structures were in place. "I can't believe how far we've come," he whispered. "It's like we've turned the galaxy's rules upside down." Elena smiled. "Humans always adapt, and today, we will show them what happens when they underestimate us." Above the planet, the alien fleet approached, their ships shining, like metallic stars against the blackness of space. The commanders had finally decided to press a full-scale attack, convinced that their power could overwhelm the humans. But they underestimated one crucial factor: the humans' relentless will and unmatched ingenuity. Mara Lee led her squadron, weaving through asteroid fields and using stealth technology to confuse the alien sensors. "Stay sharp," she said, over comms. "They are strong, but we have something they don't: unpredictability." The first wave of alien ships fired energy beams at the colony's outer shields. Explosions rocked the atmosphere, shaking buildings and sending debris into the air. Civilians scrambled to shelters, while engineers and soldiers moved with precision to reinforce defenses. Every attack the aliens made was met with a countermeasure, a trap, or an ingenious adaptation. One massive alien warship tried to descend directly onto the colony's energy facility, hoping to cripple their defenses in one strike. But the humans had anticipated it. Hidden magnetic nets lifted the ship slightly off course, while ion disruptors temporarily disabled its engines. The vessel crashed into a nearby valley, unable to continue its assault. From his hidden vantage point, Krell watched, silently. The humans were not just surviving, they were controlling the battlefield. Every move, every counterattack demonstrated their intelligence and determination. He realized the full truth behind the warning he had given his fleet. Humans would never let anyone flee once engaged. The alien commanders grew frustrated. "Why are they so clever? How do they anticipate everything we do?" one demanded. "We have numbers, technology, experience." Krell shook his head. "They are not just fighters. They are strategists, engineers, and thinkers combined. They adapt faster than we can imagine. You ignore their capability at your peril." The aliens launched drones to infiltrate the colony, expecting easy victories. But humans had turned captured alien technology against them. Drones were hacked, reprogrammed, and sent back as surveillance tools, giving the humans real-time intelligence on alien movements. One drone even lured a group of alien ships into an asteroid trap, where they collided and suffered critical damage. Tariq watched the feeds from the drones, amazed. "They are falling for every trick we set," he said. "They can't believe humans would be this smart." Elena nodded. "Smart isn't enough. They cannot match human determination. Each mistake they make only strengthens us. Every attack that fails teaches us something new. And that is why we never lose, even against overwhelming odds." The battle escalated further. Humans executed surgical strikes on alien supply lines, crippling reinforcements before they could reach the colony. Pilots like Mara Lee performed daring maneuvers, hitting larger ships with small, fast crafts, exploiting weak points that the aliens never thought to protect. Engineers remotely disabled engines and communication arrays, leaving alien commanders scrambling. The aliens attempted to regroup and launch a coordinated strike, but the humans had anticipated this as well, using decoy transmissions and feigned attacks. Humans divided the alien forces, isolating groups and making them vulnerable to precise counterattacks. One small team sabotaged a warship's energy core, forcing it to retreat in flames. Another disabled a drone squadron mid-flight, turning the drones into a distraction that allowed humans to slip past a blockade. Krell, watching from the shadows of space, sent urgent messages to his commanders. This is no ordinary species. They adapt. They fight with intelligence, not just strength. Retreat now, or face losses you cannot recover from. Some alien leaders finally hesitated. They could see the results. Ships destroyed, supply lines broken, morale shattered. But pride and arrogance held others in place. They continued the assault, and that decision would prove fatal. On the colony, Elena moved among her team, calm but decisive. "Focus on what matters," she instructed. "Protect civilians, maintain defenses, and strike when you see an opportunity. Every human here is capable of extraordinary things. Trust your training, trust your instincts, and trust each other." Even the civilians played a crucial role. Scientists turned labs into control centers, technicians repaired defenses in real time, and ordinary citizens helped transport supplies, tended to the wounded, and assisted in minor operations. Every human contributed, demonstrating that strength came not just from weapons, but from unity and purpose. The aliens tried a final massive offensive. A fleet of warships descended simultaneously, unleashing energy beams that lit the sky like a second sun. Explosions tore through fields, and debris rained down on the colony. But the humans had prepared for this moment. Shields reinforced, turrets aligned, and decoys in place, they countered with strategic brilliance. A group of engineers remotely triggered a series of magnetic traps that pulled alien ships off course. Mara Lee's squadron darted between beams, hitting critical weak points, while ground teams disrupted the aliens' landing attempts. Each wave of attack was met with human adaptability, forcing the aliens to retreat, one ship at a time. Krell could only watch in awe. He had never imagined a species could combine intelligence, courage, and resilience in such a perfect way. He knew the truth. Humans were unstoppable once they chose to engage, and they never allowed anyone to flee unchallenged. By nightfall, the battlefield was quiet. The alien fleet had suffered significant losses, some ships retreating, others disabled, and many officers shaken by the humans' relentlessness. The humans were exhausted, but victorious. Tariq looked at the glowing city below, its energy shields shimmering faintly. "We did it," he said, awe in his voice. "We actually did it." Elena shook her head, serious but proud. "This is not just victory," she said. "This is a message to our enemies, to the galaxy. Humans do not surrender. Humans do not flee. And humans never let anyone escape once they engage. Remember this lesson, and remember it well." The humans spent the night repairing, reinforcing, and preparing for whatever the aliens might try next. But their confidence was unshakable. They had faced overwhelming force and emerged stronger, smarter, and more united. Krell, still hidden in orbit, sent one final warning to his fleet. "Do not underestimate humans. They are not just fighters. They are thinkers, planners, and relentless warriors. Retreat while you can, or face consequences you cannot survive." Some alien commanders listened, fearful for the first time. Others ignored him, blinded by pride. But Krell knew the truth. Humans were not a species to be underestimated. Once they had cornered an enemy, they never let them escape. The colony lay under a blanket of stars, quiet now but alive with energy and determination. Humans moved with purpose, repairing what was damaged, strengthening what was weak, and preparing for the battles still to come. Elena stood on a balcony overlooking the city. Her eyes scanned the stars, knowing that the war was far from over. But she also knew something vital. Humans had already proven what they were capable of. They had shown the galaxy that courage, intelligence, and determination could overcome even the most powerful adversaries. The alien fleet had retreated to regroup, but their pride was shattered. Reports of their losses, supply chain disruptions, and failed assaults had spread fear and confusion among their commanders. Still, some believed they could regroup and strike again. But the humans were ready. Commander Elena Shaw stood in the command center, overlooking a map of the galaxy. Every outpost, every fleet, every potential target had been studied, and plans were in place. "This is the moment," she said to her team. "We strike decisively. We show the galaxy what humans are capable of. We do not just defend, we finish this conflict." Tariq checked the communications channels. "They're moving again," he said. "A large fleet, much bigger than before. They're trying to regroup for one final strike." Elena nodded. "Good. Let them come. Every ship, every crew, they will meet humans at our terms, and no one will escape." From his hidden vantage point, Krell observed the alien fleet. He had warned them countless times, but many refused to listen. Now, he could only watch as humans, prepared to unleash their full strength. He had never seen such discipline, courage, and ingenuity combined. He knew this battle would be unlike any in the galaxy's history. The humans launched their operation with precision. Mara Lee's squadron darted through space, striking lightly defended alien vessels before they could join the main fleet. Engineers remotely disabled engines and communication arrays, leaving larger ships isolated and vulnerable. Scientists monitored enemy movements, feeding data to commanders for split-second decisions. On the colony, civilians worked alongside soldiers. Supply lines were maintained, damaged defenses repaired, and emergency shelters reinforced. Every human contributed, proving that strength was not just in weapons, but in unity, intelligence, and determination. The aliens advanced, confident in their numbers. Energy beams lit the sky as the battle began. They expected to crush the humans quickly, but the humans had anticipated their every move. Traps, decoys, and clever tactics forced the aliens into chaos. Mara Lee led a daring maneuver, taking a small group of ships to flank the alien main fleet. Using speed, stealth, and precision attacks, they disrupted enemy formations and forced the alien commanders to adjust their strategies constantly. Even the largest alien warships struggled to respond to these fast, unexpected attacks. On the Barrier ground, humans used captured alien drones to gather intelligence and execute sabotage missions. Supply depots were destroyed, reinforcements delayed, and communication disrupted. Every action was calculated, every move precise, leaving the aliens off balance and vulnerable. Krell's voice echoed in his mind as he observed, "Do not underestimate humans. Once they choose to engage, they never let anyone flee. They are relentless." And the aliens were learning that truth firsthand. The main alien fleet attempted a coordinated assault on the human colony. Massive warships fired energy beams, trying to overwhelm shields and defenses. But the humans had anticipated this. Energy nets, magnetic traps, and improvised barriers diverted attacks, saving key facilities. Mara Lee's squadron targeted weak points with laser precision, crippling ships before they could reach the surface. Tariq monitored systems, adjusting defenses in real time. "They can't adapt fast enough," he said, watching the alien ships falter. "Every move they make, we counter. Every advantage they think they have, we turn against them." Elena's voice was calm, yet commanding. "This is the moment. Humans. We fight not just for survival, but to show the galaxy our strength. Remember, we do not let anyone escape once engaged. Show them what it means to face humanity." The battle reached its climax. The alien commanders, desperate to regain control, tried to retreat, but it was too late. Humans had anticipated every route, every path of escape. Mara Lee's squadron intercepted fleeing ships, forcing them into traps and disabling engines. Engineers remotely sabotaged vessels, leaving alien crews stranded in space. Krell watched in awe. His species had underestimated humans at every turn. Now, they were witnessing the full truth. Humans were unstoppable once they chose to fight, and they never let anyone escape. On the planet, the final assault was underway. Humans coordinated attacks across multiple fronts. Ground defenses engaged alien landing forces with precision. Pilots struck supply ships, communication hubs, and smaller fleets. Civilians supported with logistics, medical aid, and strategic assistance. Every human acted with purpose, intelligence, and courage. The aliens, cornered and desperate, realized the truth behind Krell's warnings. Their pride and arrogance had led them into a trap from which there was no escape. Ships were destroyed, crews captured or forced to surrender, and their fleet shattered. Elena observed the battlefield with quiet pride. "This is not just victory," she said. "This is proof. Proof that humans never surrender, never flee, and never allow anyone to escape once engaged. The galaxy will remember this." Tariq nodded, exhausted but exhilarated. "They thought they could intimidate us, and now they know. Humans are unstoppable." Mara Lee's squadron returned, engines glowing softly against the blackness of space. "All ships accounted for," she reported. "The enemy fleet is crippled, Commander. There is no way for them to regroup quickly." Even Krell, hidden among the stars, felt relief. His warnings had finally been realized, not ignored, but proven true. Humans were not ordinary. They were clever, courageous, and relentless. And any species foolish enough to challenge them would learn that lesson the hard way. The alien commanders who survived were forced to surrender or retreat under human terms. For the first time, the galaxy saw the humans not as a fledgling species, but as a dominant force, strategic, fearless, and united. Back at the colony, celebrations were tempered by responsibility. Humans knew the war was over, but the lessons remained. They had faced impossible odds and won, not through sheer force alone, but through intelligence, strategy, and unyielding determination. Elena addressed her people. "Today, we proved something extraordinary. We proved that humans never surrender. We proved that intelligence, courage, and unity can overcome the strongest force. And we proved to the galaxy that once humans choose to fight, no one can escape." The sky above the colony was calm now, stars shining bright against the black void. Humans moved with quiet purpose, repairing defenses, assisting the wounded, and strengthening their technology. The galaxy had witnessed their power, but it was only the beginning. Krell sent one final message to his fleet, now knowing they could not ignore the truth. "Humans are not just a species. They are the apex of courage and intelligence. Do not underestimate them. Once engaged, they never let anyone flee. Learn this lesson now, or you will regret it forever." And across the galaxy, whispers began. Stories of humans' courage, intelligence, and relentlessness spread quietly but powerfully. Every species that had once underestimated humanity would now pause, reconsider, and remember. Humans never surrendered. Humans never fled. And humans never let anyone escape once they chose to fight. The war had ended, but the legend of humanity had only begun. And from this moment onward, the galaxy knew the truth. Humans were unstoppable, unpredictable, and unyielding. No enemy could match their creativity, determination, or courage. No fleet could outthink them. And no species could ever forget the lesson the humans had taught them. Elena gazed at the stars, a quiet smile on her face. "We are humans," she said softly. "We do not retreat. We do not surrender. And we never, ever let anyone escape once we choose to engage." And somewhere, deep in the remnants of the alien fleet, commanders whispered the same words in disbelief, realizing the full truth. They had learned the hard way that humans were a species unlike any other. The galaxy would never forget.